Hey, Kobe, guess how long it is till Halloween?
I don't know how long.
27 days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 27 days till Halloween, Silver Shamrock. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys? It is the first Sunday of October, and you know what that means for the Who Watches This podcast. Halloween movies. But as you know, we do underappreciated movies.
That is true.
Of course, for this month, we are doing, for the first movie of Halloween month,
Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Boom.
The most underrated of the Halloween movies.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know where that intro is from, make sure to watch the film, but without your jack-o'-lantern mask.
Right. Yeah, and anybody who's seen this movie in the last 30 years will recognize that song.
Well, I mean, do you think when this movie came out, kids were just going around during Halloween singing it?
I was. I was probably 11 when I saw this. And that, getting ready to watch this movie, I couldn't remember a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it a couple times, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. But I totally remembered that song.
This was actually my first time watching this movie. And that's because, so my introduction to the Halloween series was probably not the greatest. And because I started the Halloween movie with, I forgot. It wasn't, that wasn't with, the one with Busta Rhymes was Jason, right? Or was that Michael?
No, that was Halloween.
So, as you can see, I was not very fond of it because I was like, Busta Rhymes really sucked in that. Because I knew way more about hip hop than I did about Michael Myers, And then I got older and I got better taste in movies, so I watched the first one with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I was like, okay, I get it. But I never really cared to watch the rest of them, and also because my friend said, he was just like, you know what, the rest of the movies, they try to put some weird lore on him, some curses and all that stuff.
Yep.
So it kind of got really weird, and I just passed it if I were you.
Yeah, fair enough.
But season 3, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch got a whole a bad rap because a lot of people thought Michael Myers was going to be in it.
Right.
But I think John Carpenter had said before, after the movies were being done, that he really wished it was gonna be some sort of anthology.
Right, and so everyone was gonna be a different writer director.
Yeah.
And it would be this ongoing, every year there would be a new Halloween movie.
But it would
with
be
a new storyline.
And so how disappointing did you think? How do you think he felt after Season of the Witch ended? Had a pretty bad reception. How do you feel like?
So, I kind of was watching different things on this. Apparently he didn't want to do another slasher movie, so he brought in somebody else to write this, and then they were like, no, we want slasher movies. So he kind of pulled himself away from the movie.
Yeah.
He's still credited on it and everything, but the writer isn't. The person who's credited as the writer is the director, who said that he just kind of did rewrites on it, and it was he didn't do the majority of the writing.
Oh, that's got to be a feel bad for the person who actually wrote the film. That's why there should have been more backstage drama and horror to this film.
And then since the first two were both slasher movies. That's what everybody was kind of expecting, and they didn't really promote it as something different. So a lot of people were going in there expecting one thing and then not liking this because it wasn't what they wanted.
So it's more attributed to just bad marketing,
right? And like apparently, like they added Season of the Witch to try to make it to distract people from it not being Jason, not distract, but
Michael.
Yeah. So to give people the idea that it was a different story.
Yeah.
And then right before it released, they actually pushed to take the Halloween name off of it and just release it as a movie called Season of the Witch. Because they were getting this kind of backlash off of their pre-screenings.
Oh. Well, but then, wouldn't people have been confused with a Season of the Witch? Because I think George Romero came out with a movie called Season of the Witch as well.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe that's why they couldn't take the Halloween movie off of it. But it is a real shame. So as I was watching this, it was less of a horror film, more of like a conspiracy thriller with a little bit of sci-fi added into it.
Right, but this one definitely revolves around the Halloween day.
Yeah. Because as you watch the movie, you can tell from our little intro there that it keeps counting down the days to Halloween.
Right. I believe it starts on the October 23rd, I think, is the first.
No, it's the 22nd.
22nd.
Because this is when the movie came out.
Okay, is the first day, they kind of date it as they count down.
Yeah.
Right as the movie starts, it tells you that.
Yeah, and then the mask company who has made a whole bunch of masks this is how you know it's 8 days away from Halloween, because the first song is 8 days from Halloween.
And it's a reoccurring commercial that counts you down, and they play it a lot, and it is catchy, and it infects your brain.
It will become an earworm in you.
Oh yeah,
especially now that it's October, and and you'll just be counting down the days just like
right.
That.
We'll probably sing the beginning of this song in every episode during October, just so you know what the countdown is.
Oh man, yeah. So let's get into we're gonna go through the overview plot of the film. If you guys have been with us for a while, we did start changing how we do the movie reviews, where we don't really go play by play.
Yeah,
with everything.
Try to kind of go through it a little quicker.
Yeah, a little quicker, and that way we could just talk about the parts in the film, and you guys can enjoy more of that, and we don't spoil the whole movie for you if you're watching this ahead of time or whatever.
Right, you just close your eyes and watch the movie in your mind.
Yeah, so the movie really starts off with this guy's getting chased by a kind of looks like a Mormon. I'm just saying.
Men in Black.
A Men in Black type of deal. He's getting choked out. For some reason, he gets pinned by this very slow moving car. He couldn't just start choking, drag the guy while choking him away. He gets pinned by two cars.
Once you start choking somebody, you don't want to stop.
It's like Pringles, right? But yeah, the guy gets away. He gets to a gas station attendant who takes him to the hospital, and in the hospital there we meet our main character before that when he's seeing his kids.
Yeah.
Our main character is gonna be a doctor. Do you know his name?
Yo,
super old dude.
Yeah.
Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins, yes.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff. Still alive.
He's a Huntsacker from Lethal Weapon. That's where I immediately recognized him from.
Oh, see, I knew I recognized him, and I couldn't put my finger on it.
And then he was the cop from Night of the Creeps, where it was a zombie movie that was like zombie leeches.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that.
That one's
well, now I have a Shudder account, so I could probably watch a whole bunch of movies now.
Yep.
Shudder, please sponsor us.
Right, you could probably put his name in, and you get a whole page of.
But yeah, and so the doctor goes to the hospital because he's been called, and this guy, I think he's under like an ICU unit or something like that.
Right, and he's unconscious.
He's unconscious. But yeah, like they run the tests, and he's not been cleared, but he's just like, all right, let him rest. But while he's resting, he gets choked out by another Men in Black guy.
Right. Well, he wakes up because he hears the commercial, the Happy Happy Halloween song.
Oh yes,
in the background, and he's all like, "They're gonna kill us all.
They're coming." And so yeah, he does get murdered by this guy, this Men in Black looking guy, who then proceeds to go into his car, douse himself in like gasoline.
Yep.
And then
and light himself on fire.
And then the car just blows up right away.
You know, in the 80s, cars blew up right away when you filled them with gas. They're a little bit better made now. We were actually at breakfast the other day, and there was a car in the parking lot, and I don't know how it lit itself on fire, but it did. And we kept talking about that. We were like, is it going to blow up? And it didn't.
But funny thing is, though, there's another car that's right next to it. They never move it. They just let it stay right next to this exploding car. But yeah, so the day after, the daughter of the person who got murdered in the hospital comes, and she's like, "What happened to my dad?" They're like, "Well, someone came in here and he murdered him. So sorry."
Yeah.
But later the doctor runs into her, but they have like this little moment where they just look at each other and then they just walk away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And during this whole time, the doctor has been having trouble with his ex-wife because I guess he was supposed to take the kids for the weekend.
Right. And the mom seems like, I don't want the kids for Halloween, so you need to take them. And then he just keeps being busy with work.
Right, because the mom was going to go out for a Halloween party and get some monster dip. I don't know what this mother's problem is. I guess it's just his turn.
Right. She's like, I bought them silver shamrock masks, so you get the rest of the holiday.
You get the holiday where they're all hocked up on sugar.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then get tummy aches, and then you also have you're a doctor anyway, so you can take care of them when they get tummy aches.
Yep.
But later we find the doctor in the bar, and the daughter of the victim comes, and they have like sort of a small talk, but she's been investigating what's happened to her father because I guess he had a mask shop or a Halloween shop.
It was like kind of like a toy shop.
Yeah, a toy shop.
But it was selling Halloween things.
Yeah, and then one of the last things he had to do was go get more masks. And so
right. And then he had appointments after that he never went to. So she's like, it's got to be the masks.
Yeah, it got to be the factory where she got it from, Silver Shamrock.
Right, and that's like a full 12-hour day drive. You want to go with me, Doc?
Was it 12 hours?
It was like a full day drive.
Oh my god. Yeah, but you know, like, and to this point, there's no connotation that they are sexually interested in each other.
No,
because he's really old.
Yeah, like he's the doctor, and he's just trying to figure out why somebody came into his hospital and murdered somebody.
Yeah,
and
but
she's like, why did somebody murder my dad? And I guess that's a recipe for romance.
But like in my mind, I'm like, dude, you're a doctor. Don't you have to go save more people?
I felt a tiny bit better that it wasn't a police officer. If she was like, police officer, let's go investigate this. And then he was like, sure thing, cutie pie. Then it would have been like, no, that's there's a line. But I guess just being the doctor that.
Well, but wouldn't it make more sense if he was a cop?
Continue.
Because, I mean, he's still going to be the same age either way.
That is true.
It made less sense because he was a doctor. It's like, dude, don't you have, like, people you need to see all the time?
I guess if he was a police officer, he would have to, like, report that he was going on this. Yeah. When it was out of state.
Yeah, it would be in someone else's jurisdiction.
Yes, that's why it couldn't be a police officer.
Yeah.
He would have been like, nope.
Yeah, but then like how? So are you telling me there's not enough movies out there that cops are going rogue?
Yeah. Remember, this is the 80s. This is when like the police were chasing the Dukes of Hazzard, and all the Duke brothers had to do was cross the state line, and the police were like, "Guess you got away."
Them Duke boys is at it again. So that accent is pretty spot on.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they do make this trip to the Silver Shamrock town where all the masks are being produced.
Yeah, it's a little town. It's not really a Silver Shamrock town, but it's basically like they find out that everybody that works there came in with the owner. So,
yeah.
So it's basically a company town.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Barstow or Bakersfield. You know, like there's nothing there except for that warehouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, they show up to the motel. They're posing as a couple. And so while she goes to distract the hotel owner, he goes to look into the books to see if her father's been there, and obviously he has.
Right.
And so they stay the night, and then sex happens, which was really out of nowhere, I feel like.
Right, and he tries to play it coy. He's all like, "Should I sleep in the car because the floor doesn't look very comfortable?" And she's like, "Well, doctor, where do you want to sleep?" And he's like, "You shouldn't ask me that question." And then it's boom, chicka, boom, boom.
And it's a real shame because, like, you know, even though I have to watch this gross sex, no, you know what? Good for him, because he's probably like 55 and she looks like she's about 25. So, you know what? Good for him for still having the mojo.
That's right.
Yeah, because
we get her in a little bit of lingerie, but maybe a little side boob, but no real nudity. But in the morning, he hears some noise, gets out of bed, and it's full on man ass.
You kind of had Tom. What's it called? Oh God, King of the Hill.
Oh yes.
What's his name?
Hank Hill.
Hey, he had a Hank Hill ass.
He did, yeah.
And then we don't even get her butt, which is like blew my mind, because I was like, oh, this is the 80s. This is all frontal nudity and bush.
Right, they weren't shaved, so it wasn't even like they were naked on the downstairs.
And you know, also this is the 80s where you could just suck on a girl's titty. Well, I think you could do that now, but you don't really get. Movies nowadays
don't get that.
There is not a lot of like nudity in movies anymore. I think the last one that had pretty good nudity was like Crazy Love and Drugs or whatever, the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway, like where I think she had Parkinson's or something. I remember someone told me a very distasteful joke when that movie came out. But I think that's like the last real big movie theater that had like really awkward sex scenes if you're watching it with your mom or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so later on they're able to go into this warehouse tour to check out how the masks are being made.
Right, because they kind of make friends with somebody, some district salesman who's like big number salesman who won a tour of the facility.
Yep. And so as they're going through this, we do meet the owner of the Silver Shamrock, and he just looks like a bad guy.
He's the like the CEO
of every bad thing
of the RoboCop movies.
Oh, see, yeah. I'm telling you, there's a lot of these old movies. I just recognize them from like more famous movies.
Yep.
But yeah, he if I was going to a job interview and he was the dude doing it, I was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't work here because you'll probably blame me for something. You're probably doing something super evil in the background, and I don't want to be a part of that.
It's true. I mean, it's troubled times with the race wars, but he would probably think you were a little too dark, being Asian.
I'm just saying. He's probably would have been a part of the Me Too movement. I was like, you grabbed a couple of shoulders in your.
Yeah, he is.
He's from the old world.
Yep.
But yeah, and so there's definitely something up in this whole corporation, and they kind of get way too close for comfort because as they're leaving the warehouse, the daughter sees her dad's car in one of the garages, and there's like these men in black dudes just standing around, and then they stop her right away.
Right.
And so they get back to the hotel, and she runs into, I think, who's another person who's a distributor.
Is that
the girl?
The other, yeah, okay. It was another person staying at the hotel, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I have to stay in this crappy place again, Jesus." But later, like we do see her, as the ad for the Halloween ad runs on the background, it activates one of the medallions she had stolen.
Oh, right, because they all have like a little pin tag.
Yeah.
Silver shamrock thing on the back of them. So she has one that has fallen off. And so she's playing with it because it looks like a little like computer chip on it. And she's like messing with it with like a hair bobby pin.
Yep.
And then that commercial comes on and it zaps her in the face.
Right. And then a cockroach comes out of her face or
burns
something.
her mouth off. And
it is pretty graphic.
Yeah.
Especially for 1982, the practical effects are spot on, guys. If you guys are practical effects pervs, this is definitely one for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so obviously now they're totally freaked out. They want to know what's happening. But the doctor does a very unconventional thing in a horror film. He's like, "Oh, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of Dodge." And so as he's trying to check out his little, the daughter. I can't keep calling her the daughter because it sounds like incestual. The daughter of the murder victim.
the young lady.
Yeah, the young lady. No, see, that sounds bad. I'm gonna call her M.A. because she's like murders. M.D. No, D.M. Daughters. Nah, I can't. You know what? The curly head woman. She gets kidnapped by the Men in Black.
Yep.
And so he has to infiltrate this warehouse, and I'm just saying, like, if his infiltration skills are not very Solid Snake. they are very amateurish.
Yeah.
He's not a very good doctor.
Oh, he's a good doctor. He used to be a bad police officer.
Yeah. But he does have a very cop face.
Oh, super cop face.
Yeah. But at this point,
in fact, if I was in a hospital and he walked into the room, I would think more that he was going to arrest me than to operate on me,
right?
To surgery on me.
Yeah. But obviously, he gets caught in the middle of it, and so the CEO of Silver Shamrock is like, "Well, there's your lady friend." And then those are the people, those are the nice people that were in the trailer. Let's watch what happens to them. And then the kid puts on the mask and he's watching that.
And he even says he's like I don't normally, spill the beans on my secret plans, but since you're a doctor, you'll appreciate this.
like he's I don't know if he understands that he's a doctor who technically is a man of science, but he's not like a mad scientist. But at that point, he's like, "You're gonna die anyway, so I should just show you what this does."
Yes,
it's gonna be pretty cool,
right?
And so the kid that's with the district salesperson puts on the mask and watches the ad that's gonna play on Halloween, and then his head melts or explodes or something in that Halloween mask
and turns into a pile of snakes and cockroaches and lizards and other such crawly things.
Yeah, it's pretty graphic. There's just kids dying in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, this kid's like a super brat, so you don't feel so bad for him, but really, I mean, you want there to be a lot of cockroaches on his face, and then him to be able to pull the mask off and go home crying and like just be like permanently scarred, not dead.
But he dies because there's like snakes coming out of his mouth, which was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking the parents did they just pass out or did they die as well?
So one of the snakes bites the dad, and so he dies of like.
And I'm pretty sure the wife died too then because there's snakes on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, and so that happens, and then they, in a very James Bond fashion, they tied him up in a room, and they're like, all right, watch this ad, and then you're gonna die.
But so long, they're like, the movie Halloween is getting ready to start, and it's 2 hours long, and then when it's over, we're gonna play the commercial to the whole world, including you, and you're all gonna die. Enjoy the movie.
Well, you know what? At least he was just like, I want you to be entertained before you die.
Right. Not just leave him in a cold, dark cell.
Right. But I will give it up to Tom Atkins because his wrist throwing skills are very TikTok envious. Because he gets that mask from his wrist all the way to the top corner of the room.
Boom. Directly on the camera.
That is your partner for Horseshoe. But yeah, he does eventually make his escape, and he also frees the young woman.
Yep.
And as they're making their escape, he finds a whole bunch of those medallions, and so his plan is to turn on the ad to play around the circle of people, of scientists.
Yep.
And then he throws the medallions, and the medallions somehow just start popping all over the place.
Right, because they're activated by the commercials.
And then it powers this stone.
It's a chunk of Stonehenge that got stolen at the beginning of the movie. Oh. And then they brought it to this factory because the magic from Stonehenge is what powers the evil chips.
Yeah,
and
okay.
that way they could control all the chips at once.
Yeah. And so the evil CEO guy just does a little evil slow clap, which is like, it's more menacing that he's just doing that and not yelling like a good old no. And it's like, you don't even hear the audio from the slow clap. It's just a very slow, like, clapping motion.
Right.
You know what? Fuck you, dude. I beat you. That's what I would have said.
Yep.
But then he gets disintegrated by the piece of Stonehenge.
Yes.
And so as they're making their escape, Tom Atkins thinks they're all safe, but oh no, curly-headed woman is now cyborg. Yep,
they have replaced her with a robot duplicate.
Right, and it is probably one of the longest robot death scenes ever. Because he beheads her, and it's a pretty cool shot.
It is,
right? And then the body's on the floor, the head's on the floor, the arm that got ripped off is still in the car, and it starts to choke him, and then he gets out, rips it off, and then the body comes out of nowhere and starts to choke. It is pretty comical. But he all of a sudden he makes his way to the same gas station where we saw the first victim in the beginning of the film.
Yep.
Go to as well, and he's calling all the stations. He's like, "Please shut it down. You have to shut it down now. We're all gonna die."
He's like, "Hey, I don't care if you believe me. Let's just say it's a bomb, and if it's a bomb, then you have to shut it down."
Right. But while he's doing that, the kids are trick or treating at a gas station. Maybe that's a small town thing. I don't know. But one of the girls who's in a witch mask, gets in front of the TV, watches it, and then when that commercial goes down, switches it to another one, and he's like, "Shut her down now!" And then the movie just ends.
And the credits roll before you get to know if the last station turns off the commercial or if, we'll say, 1/3 of the people in the world
is died.
Faces turn into bugs.
And that's the end of the movie.
But it's a fantastic ending because you got to think of the first Halloween movie. They shoot Michael Myers. Michael Myers, and he falls out the window, and then they go outside, and his body's gone, and then the credits roll, and it's like, what? Is he still alive? That's that cliffhanger ending that they're going for. I thought it was it perfectly fit that theme.
Well, yeah. Well, and I think one of the first movies to sort of do that, at least from like my memory, is probably Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, right.
Right? Because
And apparently that last scene was modeled off of the last scene of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So like the director was a real big fan. He was like, we gotta end it like, or since it's gonna end like that, we gotta do it like my favorite movie.
God, I'm surprised they haven't tried to remake that movie, and I just don't think I think they would ruin it. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Well, they've done a bunch of
movies like
similar, yeah, but I don't think they'll ever like really redo it, because I think, like you said, it'll ruin it if they try to do it exact.
Yeah, or even try to do their own twist on it. Just it's fine, but all right, boy, this is not an Invasion of the Body Snatchers episode. This is a Season of the Witch episode.
Season of the Witch, and you wonder, why is it called Season of the Witch? Because the old guy who owns the company, he's a witch from Ireland.
Wouldn't that be a warlock then?
No. And this is the anniversary of the sacrifice season that they gave it a name, and I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Samhain?
Maybe that's what it was.
Well, I mean, I know that's the original name for Halloween, but I don't know if that's like the name of the sacrifice day or.
And so he's like for 3,000. It's been 3,000 years since they sacrificed children on this holiday, and it's time to bring that tradition back. and that his grandfather was a toy maker and made all these like prank toys, and this is the greatest prank of all, because all the kids will put on the masks and get pranked because they think they're gonna win a prize, and they actually get murdered.
Well, you know what the greatest joke is, right? A joke on the kids. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because if they die, we just make some more.
Right. So Colby, what were your thoughts for you? Because I think we're gonna have two different thoughts, because this is like a rewatch for you, but this is a new watch for me.
Right.
So what were your thoughts on it, rewatching it from like, from the time you're 11 to like, maybe you watched it when you're 20s, and so on and so forth.
Right. So I watched it. I was like 11 or 12. Like I had a group of friends, and we'd always do Halloween together. And I remember watching like 3 years in a row. So 1 year we watched Halloween, next year we watched Halloween 2, and then third year we watched Halloween 3. And we watched them on like HBO at home. So like I totally expected it to be slasher movie, and they were the ones that like the parents were like, "Hey kids, eat candy, watch a movie. We're going to be in the other room having some wine." So I don't think my parents had any idea how horrifying the first two Halloween movies were for like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have been watching them. Because my mom was pretty strict on the horror movies. Mm-hmm. But it was like, I think it was like she was thinking, oh, it's TV, so like it'll be a TV horror movie, not like a movie theater horror movie. Yeah. But yeah, I remember, I very much remember like the song, like that's always stuck in my head, and every single Halloween, like when I see a pumpkin mask, that song plays through my head. So good for this movie.
Good job.
Excellent job. And the first murder where the
hospital,
where the robot guy like sticks his fingers in the patient's eyes and then just basically like kills him by like crushing his face. I very graphically remember that. I had rewatching it would never have guessed that there was anything like how the ending. I was like, I don't even remember any of the end.
Yeah.
I watched it again. Maybe, probably still maybe 15 years ago. And I watched it because at the end of like Halloween, I don't know, 9, they throw Michael Myers in prison, and then the movie ends, and then like way off in the shadows, you see a cowboy, and the cowboy comes into town, and he goes into the police station,
bust him out,
and you heard all the and it's like the Terminator, and then all of a sudden you go and the cage is all like mangled and he's gone, and I was like, I have no idea what that goes to. I am horribly confused. So I went and
you will never get to know.
I re-rented and rewatched every movie leading up to that because I just like I didn't get it, and I still didn't. Somebody else told me like the lore that there was like the cult of Jason and that,
or the cult of Michael,
or the cult of, oh god. The cult of Michael, and there was like something that was happened outside of the realm of the movies that was that affecting the movies. I don't know.
No, see, Colby, that was the induction of Michael into the Dark Tower series, because that cowboy was the gunslinger, bringing him into the Stephen King universe. I don't know. I remember I did watch there was a video essay on YouTube a long time ago talking about the entire storyline of the Halloween series and how it just got boggled down to trying to explain why Michael has some sort of supernatural powers and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? No, the dude he's just a psychotic killer, and then people just kept wanting remakes of the movie.
Right.
Which is, but so that's why I did really enjoy when they when Jamie Lee Curtis did the most previous Halloween movie.
H2O or
no, not H2O. It's just Halloween.
Or
whatever.
Okay, right.
Halloween Resurrected or or whatever it was called. Because I think John Carpenter said this is the direct sequel. Like, forget all the other movies besides 1 and 2, and this.
Right. Because
this is the bookend to this whole thing. Let's lay it all to rest. Because once you start trying, because you guys have to understand, like during the 80s and the 90s, it was very 70s, 80s, and 90s. It was very slasher heavy films, and they were like they were pretty much the superhero films of those days.
Right.
Because, I mean, horror films, especially horror films, they were easy and cost the least amount to make.
Yeah.
Because typically, it would be in one setting or one town or one summer camp or whatever like that.
Yeah.
And, as you watch the movies, especially, like, Nightmare on Elm Street 5 or 6 or whatever, eventually they're going into space. Which I'm surprised Michael Myers has never been to space.
Yeah, Jason has, but not.
And the Leprechaun.
And the Leprechaun. That's right.
That movie is also hilarious. But so for my thoughts on this movie as a first time watcher, it really didn't play like a typical horror film. It played more like a conspiracy thriller with like sci-fi in it. So it played more like a science fiction movie. Right? So I actually did enjoy it. I did like the trying to find out what was happening, like why they were doing this, what's powering these like devices that are gonna kill all these children, what the motive was for the old CEO guy, and like you said, he was an Irish witch.
The Irish witch.
I'm pretty sure it's Warlock.
Well, then it would have been the season of the Warlock.
Yeah, and it should have been. But yeah, I thought it was actually really entertaining, and I like for the life of me, like when I saw the reviews on like Shudder, when I saw like the reviews on other movie websites, they're like, this movie sucks, but I was like, well, that's because people are coming into this film expecting a slasher or a gore fest,
right?
which it wasn't. It was more, I wouldn't say like a smart thriller, but it was just a fun conspiracy thriller.
And I guess apparently, like, because of the review, like the pre-reviews before it actually got released, they went back and they added more horror into it, like some of the like the kills that the robots do.
Oh yeah.
They made them a little bloodier, and they added a little bit more, like when, like the doctor, I guess the doctor one, there was the doctor who was looking at the pieces of the first robot who got blown up and who lit himself, and she's like, this is so weird, I think somebody messed up because I can't find any human remains in there. It's just like car parts. And then the Men in Black guy kind of shows up and kills her, but that like her getting killed wasn't part. And they added that in. They were like, with the power drill.
Yeah, and I thought that seemed so out of place when I was watching it, because I was like, well, first of all, how do they even know of her?
Right.
Because she's never, like, in all of her scenes, she's never left the lab, and it doesn't really show any sort of ties. But then I guess I was like, okay, well, he was calling her when he was over there, so maybe they just traced the call back to her. But then again, you'd need, like, when you're calling a hospital, you need an extension to get to that person, and I don't think that shows, right? Back then?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it felt really unwarranted. I was like, oh, that's not fair. She just wanted some Dr. D. Because, there was a lot of, like, flirtation going on between them.
Right, and they even kissed.
Did they?
Yeah.
Was it the first time he dropped off or whatever? Oh, okay. Yes, yeah, and I was just
and then the other nurse, like, he's all like, he was like, I guess I married the wrong woman. Slaps her on the ass.
The 80s were a very different time.
Yeah.
Oh, but I did enjoy all the parts with the menacing CEO guy.
Yeah.
Because he was probably the best part of the film for me, because he really leaned into this role. He's like, I'm just gonna be this evil guy, but I'm gonna be like pretty cool. Like if you went to my, like, if we were in hell and you went to my office, it'd be like really smooth jazz playing. Because he wasn't over the top like other villains are. He wasn't going like, no.
Oh, right. More like almost like a James Bond villain, like you mentioned. Especially like even at the end when he realizes he lost, and he just kind of gives him the slow clap, and he's like, "You got it, you got me."
Yeah, right. It's very patronizing. I still would have been like, "No, fucker, I got you." But yeah, and I think I really enjoyed him for the most part of this film, because he really played his role. Like, and I think at some points, like, especially, he's a pretty old dude. He could have really just phoned this whole thing in.
Right.
But he didn't, which I always appreciate. It's like, it's awesome when people give their like 110%, even when they know like this movie is probably gonna bomb. So I'm gonna be either like the most colorful character I can be, or like the coolest person I could be.
But you never know, because like maybe they thought that this was gonna be
a good movie,
something bigger than it.
Oh, right.
Than it turned out, because the first Halloween was the largest grossing independent film until Blair Witch Project came out.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So,
and then after
that was
like Paranormal Activity, right? Yeah, and so I guess the Halloween name back then had like a very huge like dollar sign on it.
Right.
They're like, this movie's gonna make a lot of money. So yeah, okay. So maybe he didn't think it was gonna bomb, but either way, I'm just glad he played.
Or they
it the
may
way
have
he
just
did.
paid him enough to be like, "Here's your paycheck. Do a good job," and he'd be like, "Oh, thank you for the extra zero."
That's gonna buy me a lot of cocaine. I don't know if he did cocaine back then.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s.
Right? Disco 54 or Studio 54, right? Yeah, Kobe, did you have any favorite parts of the film?
So there was a lot of like goofy things that like I noticed. Like you get the doctor just alcoholic. I don't know. It's the 80s drinking. Like he's Like his housekeeper makes a joke about him doctoring and drinking when he's taking when he's taking he's on call and he's getting ready to go into the office.
Yeah.
And then like he calls his ex-wife to let her know that he's got some doctor stuff he's got to take care of when he's actually going to be going out of town.
Yep.
And he's got like 6-pack of beer that he just grabs with him. Let's have some drinks for the road.
It's the 80s were a crazy time.
He's in the bar twice. He's when they get there every night he's like, well, let's run down to the store and get some liquor.
and so you could see why he's probably divorced.
Possibly.
Yeah, and it seemed it's funny because it seemed like he was just like a general physician. Because you don't ever really see him do any doctoring stuff.
Right.
The only time you see him be a doctor is at the beginning of the film.
When he's like, we should administer some Thorazine to this person. And that's crazy drugs.
I mean, he does always say, like, move out of the way, damn it, I'm a doctor. That was more Richard Nixon, but I don't know Tom Atkins enough to do his voice. And it probably wouldn't be good anyway. But you know, I did like the evil plot of this whole thing where, I mean, back in the pagan days, you know, there were like a lot of these weird rituals that we would never understand today.
Right.
You know,
and then they went through the effort to steal a chunk of Stonehenge,
right?
Like a full rock from Stonehenge, and bring it to America.
Like, how do you get away with that? First of all,
it's what he said. He was like, it was so hard to get that here.
And it's not like a slab. Like, it's not like a 10 Commandments tablet.
Right.
It is almost like a 2-story.
Yeah, it's like tanker truck size chunk of stone.
Right. So like, how did you do that in a night? You know, I don't think anyone's not gonna notice that with all the tours going on.
And they like, if you rewatch it, you'll catch that the news is talking about that right before the first time the commercial comes on for the Happy Halloween.
Yeah, that I did see.
Okay.
It's funny, like, ever since like this resurgence of just like Easter eggs and all that stuff, where like there's always something playing on the TV. If you pay enough attention, you'll get to see the plot of the movie or something like that.
Right.
And so I always watch like TVs when it's in the movie, because I was like, oh, there's probably going to be a clue.
Well, if you watch the TVs, technically this would be a movie that included Michael Myers, because he's in it, because they show
the movie.
Yeah, because the Halloween movie is the movie that's showing. That's the countdown to the masks all going off.
Right. So, but I mean, this movie is pretty much doing a thing where like Michael Myers doesn't exist in this universe.
Right.
Because it's just a movie.
Yep.
But yeah. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, I love movies that kill children. No. I'm just saying it's a very evil plot, because it is not only killing like one kid or two, but it's a plot that's like out here to kill like an entire nation of children.
Yeah, all of them.
Which, you know what? It would have never got me, because I was just always a stepdad for Halloween. It was just easy to put a sweater vest on. You know what? Actually, one year I did go as a peeping Tom, which was just me in sweatpants and a sweater, and I just carried around a video camera. And I always had the hoodie up, and I always put the video camera in front of my face. That way you never got to see my face. And you know what? That's pretty terrifying if you really think.
It is. That's, yeah.
But yeah, I would have never worn any of those masks because they're really hard to breathe in.
Right.
It is hot.
It is very hot. Especially in Vegas. You were like, let's go as like a hula dancer. You know.
Let's go
I want to be a surfer. Yeah.
I'm going to go as Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like, whoa, you're just going to step out in your underwear?
Vegas was that weird like temperature change where it was like one year it was 40, and then like the next year it was 95. So like you always had to like plan your
you had to have two costumes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. One where it feels like it's winter's here early,
or you had your daytime costume and your nighttime costume because it was like this is gonna be too cold once the sun goes down.
Right. See, like, so during the daytime you're just stone cold in your underwear.
Yep.
But during the nighttime you
Boom.
you
leather vest goes on.
Leather vest and then the shorts come on.
And the jean shorts. Yep.
Oh man.
Oh, and then the one other kind of interesting thing that I read in was they call him the assassin, but the leader of the robots, the one with the red hair, was the guy who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2.
See, that's why he was so huge. I was like, dude, this guy's friggin'
And
power.
then they have a over the loudspeaker, announcing that it's like curfew, and they had Jamie Lee Curtis do that part. So technically, Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers were both in this movie as well.
They're like, Jamie, we just need your voice, please. Like, come on.
Yeah, they did it as like an homage. They were like, hey, we don't want you in the movie, but if we could just
get a little soundbite.
It was a little pre-Easter egg before Easter eggs became a thing.
Yeah, see, you guys, you got to pay attention to these movies.
Yep.
Because then you'll catch small things like that. I didn't know that the lead cyborg was Michael Myers, but I was just thinking, like, that's a big motherfucker. And of course, a ginger would be the leader of a soulless pack of robots.
And I guess apparently the director wanted all the assassins, all the cyborgs, to be ginger, and they couldn't find enough actors to apply for it. So like only like 3 of the 10.
Oh, he wanted to go for a grown-up version of Children of the Corn.
Right. Well, because they were supposed to be Irish. They were all under the Irish witch. So
I don't think all Irish people are gingers.
All the evil ones are.
And we say that because we have we're both really good friends with ginger guys.
Yeah.
Twinsies, of course, in fact.
And we're not saying that they don't have a soul, but I think
they keep saying that they don't.
They may only have one that they share.
Oh man. Well, I know this was a much more silly version of our typical episodes, but this movie is really fun. We're gonna go to our reviews now because we are getting to our hour. So if this is the first time you guys are joining us, we do our reviews in 4 sections, which is gonna be Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and Ultimate Box Collection. So Colby, where are you headed for this one?
This one is one of those ones where it seems like a pretty easy like Ultimate Box Collection because there's obviously enough Halloween movies that they could put a big thing out. And I could almost see them omitting this from a box, like be like, hey, here's all the Michael Myers collection, and then this movie not being in there,
and which would be a shame because it's still a part of that. Like
it is, and yeah, I mean, like, don't go in it expecting the typical Halloween movie, but it definitely has some serious charms of its own. It's got a decent story. It's got decent acting. It's a lot of fun. I mean, for an 80s movie, I'm like, it's a good horror movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely. I think this would probably actually even have some cool
behind the
extras
scenes
and stuff. I would go Blu-ray probably on this.
Blu-ray. Yeah, I think for me, I wanna. I'm not a huge fan of the Halloween series, so I couldn't go Ultimate Box Collection. And but for me, for this one, I'd probably go DVD. This movie is great on its own. If I just totally take out the Halloween title, it's a good sci-fi thriller to me. I love conspiracy thrillers because I like to. Even though conspiracy thrillers tend to be sort of like a one watch done type of deal. I think this one is totally, it fits right into that category where I enjoyed it enough to just own it in my DVD collection.
And then I did read that the Blu-ray was digitally remastered.
Oh, see, but like, is it gonna be better or is it gonna degrade? Because
that's true.
It's really hard, like, for us to want a Blu-ray for older films, just because
it's always
the conversion from film to Blu-ray sometimes could ruin the movie. But yeah, this definitely is worth the watch. There's nothing like, if you're a big like sci-fi or sci-fi horror fan, like this is definitely worth the watch. If you want, you can go ahead and stream it on Shudder. When hopefully it works this time. And Shudder, I guess you should sponsor us, because I have a membership now. Oh man, but yeah, we are coming to the end of the show, guys. I hope you enjoy. We will be doing 3 more underappreciated Halloween horror flicks for the month of October. And so I hope you guys look forward to that. If you guys want to hit us up, our email and our Twitter DM is going to be down below. If you guys have any recommendations or any themes that you guys want us to do, please just go ahead and email us any suggestions. I also want to give a shout out, because I've been checking out the stats, Kobe.
Yeah.
And we got a couple people from like New Jersey listening to us.
What?
What's up, Jersey? We have people from Colorado.
Excellent.
Which is awesome. And then if I put it in the tags, we'll have people from Ireland listening to us. Sorry, Ireland, we do not mean to make the ginger jokes. But we have a couple of self-depreciating gingers who make fun of themselves. And so maybe we get a pass. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the show. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This.
And remember, it's 27 days to Halloween. Halloween.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. The Bandcamp is down below. It's called Arcade Montage, from the Music for Podcast 3 album.
Thank you.